Are you wondering how to take the first or next step in manifesting your right livelihood and thriving? Well, a little over 1 year ago, I was literally in the same place with a crew of supporters, including my wonderful little daughter and a friend who's really skilled in videography and directing. And my legs were shaking and my voice was shaking because I was making my first video for my first webinar of my business. And it was a webinar about the challenges women face in permaculture and how we can design to eliminate those challenges. Well, I looked back over the raw footage from that time and I compiled a video that's kind of a bloopers video just to show you how hard it was and how out of my comfort zone I was. It was a really difficult first step, but I'm really glad I took it. In the past, roughly 365 days, a lot more firsts have happened. I ran my first Grow Your Permaculture Thrivelihood program that was 6 months long and had some wonderful women that went through that program with me, that pilot program. I was a guest presenter at the first ever permaculture teachers training for women that was taught by Lisa DiPiano and Pandora Thomas. I presented about Thrivelihoods at the gathering of Northeastern women in permaculture. And I compiled and published best practices for supporting women in permaculture. That's been published in the most recent Permaculture Design magazine, and you can access it here on my website. To be honest, every one of those steps came with a lot of fear, a lot of intense growth. But because I faced that fear and had communities to support me and a framework to support me, my competence and my confidence has grown. Just recently, I was honored to be invited to co-teach an advanced permaculture design course with Peter Bain and John O'Niger. It was so fulfilling to have women and men alike say that one of the highlights of the course was my intense passion and clear voice about social justice and the importance of social technologies in permaculture, as well as the fact that they got to learn to think of themselves as permapreneurs, designing our regenerative ecosystem of businesses. I've really gotten to see where my hard work and my thought leadership is leveraging other folks into their own unique ways of leading and their own innovative ways of showing up in permaculture. Over this past year of intense personal growth, I've discerned 3 keys to thriving in your right livelihood. And I'm super excited to share those with you in a free webinar that I'm going to host on December 6th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you there because I'm going to share a framework that will reduce the struggle and increase the impact, the energetic return, and the joy in doing truly regenerative work. Because the world needs you to do your work, even if your voice and knees shake. At the end of the webinar, I'll also outline my new Thrivelihood program offerings, which are now enrolling. I'd be delighted to accompany you in your next step in your Thrivelihood.